You're now in week 2 of the Arizona Cardinals 2024 season, and although we know the Cardinals lost, they actually fought very well against a Buffalo Bills team, which some might say are Super Bowl contenders. Is this Arizona Cardinal front office going to do something when we know the exact issue and what we can do to fix our defense? Or are they going to sit on their hands and allow another season to potentially go to waste? Let's get started. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into another video. Definitely do me a huge favor, smack up that like button and subscribe for more Arizona Cardinals content. On this channel we cover everything Arizona Cardinals news, breaking news, conversational pieces, everything surrounding your favorite team. So subscribe it up, it's absolutely for free. And we actually did post week 2 preview, Cardinals versus Rams, what the Cardinals need to do to win that game, already live on the channel. So go ahead and make sure you actually send some love and watch that video right after this one. Alright, everybody, let's go and dive right into it. Let's talk about what we talked about over a month ago, and the question was, should the Arizona Cardinals trade for Haason Reddick? And as of right now, heading into week 2 of the NFL season, the question still remains, right? Now, what did we learn in week 1 for the Arizona Cardinals defense? The edge position is not great, right? And now here's the thing. This is not a shock to most Cardinal fans. This is definitely something that we absolutely anticipated with having Zaven Collins as well as Dennis Gardeck. I don't know. I feel like Jonathan Gannon and his front office, I don't want to say taking the cheap route here, but I do feel like we can actually use some real good true pass rushers, and we do not have that on that roster. Now, another thing that we learned in week 1 playing the Buffalo Bills is that we actually played them very hard. We're talking about a Buffalo Bills team with Josh Allen that's always in contention of the Super Bowl because he is that great of a quarterback. Now, yes, they don't have a lot of weapons, but they can go very deep in the playoffs because of Josh Allen. What did we learn? We learned that we could hang with them. Right now, we did lose by 6 points. Some arguably might say that the Cardinals should have won that game because of that PI wasn't called for us, but regardless, we do know that the biggest weakest point on the defensive line is going to be that edge position. Now, there was a tweet put out here by Brett Coleman on Twitter saying the fact that the Arizona Cardinals had a very underwhelming performance in week 1 of the regular season. Now, that wasn't a shock, right? But he didn't actually say it like that. This is exactly what he said. Cardinals edge rushers generated a 3.5% pressure rate last week, and I'll be honest, I'm not sure I've ever seen an NFL team do that before. Pretty much indicating that there's non-existence with the pressure for the Arizona Cardinals. Now, like I said before, is this new? Is this breaking news? Is this shocking? No, it's not. What's shocking is the fact that the Arizona Cardinals front office is not doing anything about it, right? We know the elephant in the room. We know the biggest weakness on our defense is the edge rushers, and Monty Austinford in this front office is doing nothing but sitting on their hands. Now, because we know that our offense can hang with a competitive team like the Bills, obviously we'll know a little bit more heading into week 2 with the division rival here with the Los Angeles Rams. We do not apply pressure on Matthew Stafford. It's just more of a reason as a head scratcher as to why this front office is not doing anything to make sure that this position is upgraded, right? Because yes, I do love Dennis Gardeck. I do love, Zaven Collins, and I do wish nothing but the best for them. I want them to succeed, but we gotta call it like it is. They are not pure edge rushers. They are guys playing completely out of positions that actually translated to the edge rushing role. They didn't play it in college. They never excelled in the edge rusher role. Now, I do got to mention one thing. The Cardinals have elevated Julian Okwara from the practice squad over to the active roster. Now, he definitely had some time in flashes with the Lions, but this is one of those signings where we kind of feel like, okay, he's coming from the practice squad to the active roster. I don't know. It doesn't really move the needle for me. Obviously, I'm going to really hope that he does very well for the Cardinals, but at the end of the day, the move that the Cardinals should absolutely make is 1 or 2 moves. Now, I want to give a huge shout out here to Bleacher Report. I actually do go live on there every post-game show right after the game before I make any videos on here, but I did see an article on there labeled 2024 NFL Trade Block Big Boards entering week 2. Now, the Arizona Cardinals have been mentioned 3 times on this list here, one of them being Budda Baker, being the fact that the Cardinals season goes sideways and the defense can't stop anybody, which kind of seems to be the projection. Buda Baker might be, going to a different team, right? And this is all speculations. Please keep that in mind, that these articles are put out for obviously a entertainment piece to kind of see who could potentially be players that are being moved. And because Buda Baker has requested a trade at one point in his career, we're being hopeful, and we're hoping that the Cardinals could pull off a win versus the Rams, because they actually do have a lot of injuries going on. And if we can't expose that, I don't know what to say from there. But these are the two players that this article has that the Cardinals should potentially go after, right? One of them is Azeez Ojulari, edge rusher out of New York. If the name Ojulari sounds familiar, Azeez Ojulari is related to BJ Ojulari, who's the player that we got in the second round last year that found himself on the IR to start the season off. So Azeez Ojulari in the Giants could potentially be a target for a potential move off of. Now, I don't know if you guys seen some Giants football in this first week, but Daniel Jones is absolutely horrendous, and there's a lot of Giants fans out there that want him completely as far as New York as possible. So maybe they can be a team that could potentially move off some pieces, and Azeez Ojulari is very, very intriguing. In 2021, he had a total of 8 sacks, 1 forced fumble. In 2022, he had 5.5 sacks, 3 forced fumbles. Now, in 2023, he did have a decline in production. He had a total of 2.5 sacks in that season, but we know what the Giants were in 2023. They were the 6th overall pick, while the Cardinals were the 4th overall pick. So we know that both of our teams did not have the best of seasons, and usually that does affect, production from the defense, especially if they've been on the field for a very long time. So a potential guy for the Cardinals to go after is going to be Azeez Ojulari. Stands at 6'3", 240 pounds. He is still 24 years old, so he's still very, very young. Comes out of Georgia, and he does have the ability to play the edge role, right? And he's a true outside linebacker, a guy that can get to the quarterback. Definitely a player that can definitely move the needle for the Arizona Cardinals defense. Now let's move on over to the player that most Arizona Cardinals fans want this front office to wake up and potentially make the call. Now, we don't know what conversations Monty has had with potentially the GM of the Jets. Has it happened? We don't know, but Haason Reddick is also listed as the Cardinals should go after Haason Reddick. It's out there, right? Every national media knows that the Cardinals edge rushing group is probably one of the lowest ranked edge rushing group. And like I said before, I don't get why there's not much urgency with the front office, because we know that we can compete. We saw it, right? Our special teams got involved. Our defense had some flashes here and there. Our offense was getting busy in the first half. Now, obviously, we need to work on that second half and make sure it translates from the first half to the second half. But honestly, I think at the end of the day, the Arizona Cardinals need to take a big swing, and that big swing could potentially be Haason Reddick. Now, I heard that the Jets come out and said, we are not trading Haason Reddick, but there is some executives out there that truly believe that the Jets will be trading Haason Reddick. We don't know exactly what time, but as of right now, the holdout still continues. Now, this guy right here, Haason Reddick, yes, he is getting up there in age, but you gotta call it like it is. This guy's an absolute baller. Out of his 4 last years, 2023 to 2020, he had double-digit sacks, and I definitely feel that he can do it again in 2024. Why not reunite Haason Reddick, go ahead and provide them a potential 3rd or 4th round pick, even if they want to put a package together to potentially go after Haason Reddick. This is definitely something that the Cardinals should absolutely do, because like we said before, the Arizona Cardinals held their own against this Buffalo Bills team. So ladies and gentlemen, what are your thoughts here on potentially the Cardinals going after Haason Reddick? What about a Azeez Ojulari? Do you want the Cardinals to go after either of these two players to completely upgrade the edge position? Let me know in the comments below. I appreciate y'all for tuning in as always. Have a great rest of your day, and go Cardinals.